destroy my world!
Alright, what is going on, everybody? Today we have another Marvel Rivals video for you today. And today I wanted to talk about the state of the game. Basically, like, where are we in Marvel Rivals in this current time where, you know, because there's a lot of discussion going around about, you know, oh, Marvel Rivals is a competitive game. Some people are saying, no, it's a casual game. Some people are saying, like, it used to be a casual game, now it's a competitive game, and so on and so forth. And basically, I wanted to talk about this topic because I really want to know what you guys think. I think it's really important to understand that, you know, you can't really, in a game like Marvel Rivals, right, where it is exclusively a PvP type game, right? It does have PvE, but let's be real, like it's a PvP game, right? And especially when it's a huge IP like Marvel, and especially on top of that, where the game is free to play, it's also releasing characters every month, right? So eventually your favorite character will be added if it's not already added in the game, right? So for example, I really want Green Goblin in a game. I think it's safe to say that eventually we can see him be in the game, right? Same with like Thanos. Oh, Thanos will eventually be in a game. Like, you know, it's the same thing with like Deadpool. Everyone was stoked when Deadpool got announced. When was it? The Game Awards, right? It was the Game Awards when Deadpool got announced. That was really hyped, and I know that there's gonna be a lot of casual players that play the game, that love the game, that is really into Marvel in general, and they're gonna get in the game and they're gonna play it just because their favorite characters in the game. So, but there's also this thing where it's like, you know, the game can get very competitive, and when the game, there's like this weird balance of like, it's like a slider where it has its pros and cons, where the balancing is more catered towards casuals, right? People like me who really care about balancing. At this point, I care more about balance just slightly more than I do the character that comes out, right? Because every time a new season comes out, whenever a new character comes out, I'm more excited, just slightly. I'm slightly more excited about the balance changes rather than the character itself. And I know that's kind of weird. This is like the only game where I kind of feel this way. And that's mainly because I like, even though I enjoy a lot of these new characters, right? Like Black Cat, when she came out, she's really fun. I think she's probably the perfect character that's ever been released in terms of balancing and in terms of power and fun aspect, right? She's just difficult enough to where people who suck at the game won't play her, but she's good enough to where if you do master her and learn how to play her, she's actually really decent, but she's not broken like Elsa, right? Where you just press one button and everything dies, right? I'm talking about her ult, right? It's the dumbest, just brainless, brain rot, just stupid, broken shit ever, right? But with Black Cat, like, there's like a lot of good mechanics that you need to learn and master in order for you to take full advantage of. So even though I enjoy characters like her, I would be lying if I said that I was a little bit more interested in the quality of life changes and also the balance changes that came alongside Black Cat, right? I was really, really happy when they announced that they were going to reduce everybody's ultimate, the charge rate or whatever, by 20%, and that if needed, they're gonna tune it a little bit more or a little less depending on how everyone's reactions were. So I was really excited for that. That's probably the best update the game has ever received, because before that the game was in a really bad state where, and I mean this genuinely when I say bad state, it was in a really bad state where the game was just ult spams every 10 seconds, right? Triple support, ult spams, no skill, right? 2 bans per team. Like, that's just really bad, right? So now we got 3 bans for each team. even though I still kind of want them to do turn-based bans, right? I hate this dupe ban shit. It's really fucking annoying, and I know why they do it. The reason they do it is because the reason they don't have turn-based bans is because they said that they want the game to just flow a little quicker, to go a little faster. But the problem is that when you play high level rank, the queues is already a little high, and on top of that, the game itself already takes quite a bit. So you're already committing yourself to play at least like 15 to 20 minutes, and I don't think adding turn-based bans is going to add an additional 5 minutes. Like, I think the most you'll spend on it will probably be like 2 minutes. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal to just add turn-based bans, right? I think it'll be healthier for the game, and you won't get as annoyed with the matches because you both of the team decides to ban Cloak and Dagger or Gambit, right? But basically, going back to the point of balancing between towards the casual play and the competitive aspect of the game, I think it's really difficult because on the one hand, the casuals do make up the majority of the game, and casuals is the reason why this game is even alive in the first place, right? Because if it was only the competitive people who played the game, then one, the game is super miserable, and also the game would just not, like, it would be riddled with people that are constantly tryharding every single game, right? It's kind of like going back to Black Ops 2 nowadays, and the only people who are playing it are like Master Prestige or whatever. So there's got to be like a balance, right? And I think this discussion more so came about with the release of Devil Dinosaur, right? Because at first, you know, I was really enjoying characters like Black Cat, where, you know, like I said before, she has a good amount of abilities. She's a little difficult to master and learn. She's not just your typical Wanda player where you hold one button and, you know, shit happens, right? You actually got to learn how to play her, and you actually got to have good reaction times, and you know, all this and that. So, but Devil Dinosaur is kind of the opposite. He's a very, very mechanically simple character to play. There's not really any sort of combos you have to like learn, right? There's a lot of synergy that you can do with him. There's a lot of things you have to keep in mind, right? But for the most part, it's not that difficult to play Devil Dinosaur. I forgot how many stars he has, but he's really probably one of the easiest characters that has came out. I mean, if you think about it, right? Rogue came out. When Rogue came out, she was pretty difficult to play because she was pretty much a fighting game character, right? With a lot of combos, a lot of aerial combos, this and that, a lot of buttons. And, you know, Gambit came out, and I believe Gambit was like the first character where he had multiple pages for you to read in terms of his skills, right? Because of his cards. And that was pretty difficult as well. And then, Black Cat came out. She has a lot. She has a lot of abilities that you got to remember, right? White Fox, I mean, she's kind of like in a medium range. She's not mechanically easy, but she's not mechanically difficult either, right? She's a straightforward dive. She's a dive support character. But now we have this character, Devil Dinosaur, which, to be fair, he's just a fucking dinosaur. What kind of complex mechanics can you add to this character that, you know, would justify giving him, you know, like, he's just a dinosaur. Like, of course he's just gonna have a bite mechanic and a fucking laser beam, which I wasn't even expecting him to do that. I just, you know, but it's still cool. You know, it's fun. It's awesome that he shoots a laser beam out of his mouth, but I never thought he could do that, right? So that's cool. But characters like Devil Dinosaur, him being a tank especially, a category in which people are so reluctant to play. I don't know why. I think it's just, I don't know. For me, every game is more so like either everyone wants to play support. Well, I mean, everyone always wants to play DPS, right? That's just never gonna go away. But for the most part, it's either like nobody wants to play tanks, or nobody wants to play support. It's like you can't just get in the game and just like, you know, everyone is chill. You know, everyone's just filling for the most part. That would be too perfect, right? Or that would be it would require something like a role queue, obviously, but it's just so annoying because I know that like role queue isn't necessarily like that fun, right? Like Overwatch. There's a reason why I play Marvel Rivals and not Overwatch, right? Because the role queue, even though you don't have to worry about the roles, it still restricts a lot of the characters and their potential, right? So I think overall it is better for the game to not have role queue. However, I will also admit that it's really fucking annoying when I'm playing Devil Dinosaur and I'm the only one playing tank, right? And sometimes people much rather play triple support than to pick another fucking tank. We don't ever have to worry about a DPS. We never have to worry about a DPS, right? But now it's like I'm either solo tanking with Devil Dinosaur or just like no one wants to play support, right? And so it's like, yeah, so but yeah, Devil Dinosaur, it's a really strange phenomenon because on the one hand, you would think like a character that's simple like Devil Dinosaur would be enough for people to at the very least try him out, but because he's so massive, he just dies a lot. You're just gonna die a lot. Also, you need a strong support that's pretty much focusing on you for a good majority of the game, right? You need like an Invis on you for the most part, and you need like a Luna to give you the snowflake and just kind of be on you, next to you, like your pet, like you're his pet or something, you know, because you're just gonna take a lot of damage. You're a big target and you're going to grab a lot of aggro. And I think it's pretty cool that we got a simple character like him. Is he broken? I'd say no. Well, I don't think he's broken. I could be wrong. You guys gotta let me know if he's broken or not. But I personally feel like he's not broken, but he is a really good, strong character. He is a strong character, but he's not broken, right? He's not like Elsa Bloodstone levels of broken, or he's not like Jean Grey or Phoenix types of broken. And that's kind of why I say he is not broken. Because if characters like Phoenix wasn't as prominent as she is now, I'd probably be more lean to say, probably be more on the side of like maybe Devil Dinosaur is a little broke. But the fact that they buffed Jean Grey in the same patch that Devil Dinosaur came out, also they buffed Iron Fist. Funny enough, right? Think about it. They buffed Moon Knight, not damage wise, but his mobility. They buffed Moon Knight. It incentivizes people to play Moon Knight even more than what people already play Moon Knight. Like, right? He's an easy character mechanically, and Devil Dinosaur is just an easy ass target to hit. And then they buffed him, and now people are gonna play him even more. They buffed Iron Fist, they buffed Jean Grey, okay? And Devil Dinosaur came out, and yeah, he has a shield, but shields are nothing. Like, his shields are just enough for you to like survive, or to block some incoming damage to protect some of your dives that are trying to get back to the supports or something, right? It's just good enough to where it's not like a Strange shield. It's not like a Doctor Strange shield. It's not like an Emma shield. It's not like a Magneto shield, right? It's just a small barrier with 450 health, right? So, yeah, that's kind of the only reason why I'd say he's not necessarily broken. Maybe in ranked where you ban Jean Grey, right? You ban Jean Grey, you ban Hela, you ban Bucky, you ban Moon Knight probably. I mean, yeah, sure, but I think at that point you can just play like Thing. But I don't know, because then like Tenacity has not been addressed, and it's a real problem. They haven't even mentioned the word Tenacity this season, which is really interesting. So, but yeah, guys, that's pretty much my my thing here. This is pretty much what I wanted to bring up. I just wanted to kind of like, I'm not too sure exactly where the state of the game is heading towards, because if the game gets too casual, then everything is just gonna eventually get too broken, right? Because it's like, oh, who cares about the balance? But then if you lean more towards the competitive side of the game, then it becomes way too annoying because, you know, it gets more annoying because the fun aspect of the characters that you like to play will be drained out of them, right? And that's kind of the thing. Like, if you're a pro player or whatever, like, a pro player will always find a broken thing in the game, no matter what, because that's just the nature of being a pro player. Your job is to find the most broken thing in a game and abuse it as much as you can to win games, right? Because that's kind of like a sociopath type thing. That's just how it is, right? That's the whole point, is to abuse every type of mechanic that could win you the game, right? So no matter what the balancing is, you're always going to find a way to abuse the game in some sorts. So balancing will never be perfect. So, but I think a character releasing like Double Dinosaur definitely shifted the trajectory more towards the casual play. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.